ancient Rome, a city of grandeur and ambition, a republic built on the ideals of citizenship and shared power. Yet, beneath the veneer of unity, cracks were beginning to appear. The Roman Republic, for centuries a beacon of democracy, found itself teetering on the brink of chaos. Power, once dispersed among the Senate, was consolidating in the hands of one man, Julius Caesar. Caesar's victories in Gaul had made him a hero to the people and a threat to the ruling class. His ambition knew no bounds. The Senate, once a symbol of republican values, became increasingly wary of Caesar's growing influence. Whispers of dictatorship filled the halls of power. The fate of Rome hung in the balance. Julius Caesar was a man of extraordinary talent. He was a brilliant military strategist, a captivating orator, and a shrewd politician. His rise to power was meteoric. From humble beginnings, he ascended through the ranks of Roman society, captivating the hearts and minds of the people. His victories in Gaul further solidified his status as a legendary figure. Yet Caesar's ambition proved to be a double-edged sword. With each victory, his thirst for power grew. The Senate, once his equal, became an obstacle to his ultimate goal, absolute rule. He appointed himself dictator for life, a move that sent shockwaves through the Republic. To his enemies, Caesar's actions confirmed their worst fears. He had become the very tyrant they swore to oppose. Enter Marcus Junius Brutus, a man of impeccable lineage and unwavering principles. A descendant of Lucius Junius Brutus, the founder of the Republic, Marcus Brutus embodied the ideals of Roman virtue. He was a close friend of Caesar, a confidant, and perhaps even a son in all but blood. This personal connection made Brutus's internal conflict all the more agonizing. Brutus was torn between his personal loyalty to Caesar and his duty to the Republic. He admired Caesar, respected him, even loved him. But Brutus was also a staunch defender of Roman liberty. He witnessed firsthand the Senate's growing unease at Caesar's insatiable appetite for power. Brutus faced an impossible choice: remain loyal to his friend or stay true to his principles. In the heart of Rome, a conspiracy began to take root. A group of senators, calling themselves the Liberatores, resolved to eliminate the threat to the Republic. They saw Caesar's dictatorship as an intolerable affront to their ancestral freedoms. They believed that his assassination, while a drastic measure, was necessary to save Rome from itself. Brutus, with his reputation for honor and integrity, became the linchpin of their plot. The conspirators knew that his involvement would lend legitimacy to their cause. They appealed to his sense of duty, arguing that Caesar's ambition posed an existential threat to the very fabric of Roman society. After much deliberation, Brutus made his fateful decision. He would join the conspiracy. Section 5, the Ides of March, a day of blood and betrayal. This day would forever change the course of Roman history, marking the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter filled with turmoil and power struggles. March 15th, the Ides of March, a day etched in infamy in the annals of Roman history. It was a day that would see the fall of one of Rome's greatest leaders, Julius Caesar, and the rise of a new era of political chaos and civil war. As Caesar made his way to the Senate, he was unaware of the danger that lurked in the shadows. The streets of Rome were bustling with activity, but beneath the surface, a deadly plot was unfolding. Caesar, confident and unassuming, walked towards his fate, oblivious to the betrayal that awaited him. The conspirators, Brutus among them, lay in wait, their daggers concealed beneath their togas. These men, once trusted allies, had turned against Caesar, driven by a mix of fear, jealousy, and a desire for power. They had meticulously planned this moment, knowing that the Senate chamber would be the perfect place to strike. Caesar entered the Senate chamber, the very heart of Roman power. The grandeur of the chamber, with its towering columns and ornate decorations, stood in stark contrast to the treachery that was about to unfold. Caesar, ever the statesman, was ready to address the Senate, unaware that his final moments were upon him. He was surrounded by men he considered his allies, his friends. The atmosphere was tense, whispers filled the air, and the weight of impending doom hung heavy. And then it began. The first dagger struck, followed by another and another. The betrayal was swift and brutal. One by one, the conspirators struck, their daggers finding their mark with terrifying precision. The Senate chamber, once a place of debate and decision, was now a scene of chaos and bloodshed. The senators, driven by their own motives, showed no mercy as they attacked their leader. Caesar fell, his blood staining the marble floor, his dying words a mixture of disbelief and accusation. Et tu, Brute, you too, Brutus. The betrayal by Brutus, a man he considered a son, was the final blow. With those words, Caesar's life ended, but his legacy would live on, forever changing the course of history. Section 6. The Republic in Ruins. The assassination of Caesar sent shockwaves through Rome and beyond. His death was not just the end of a leader, but the beginning of an era of unprecedented turmoil. The Republic, already teetering on the brink, plunged into chaos. The streets of Rome, once bustling with commerce and life, now echoed with the cries of panic and confusion. The Liberatores, the group of senators who orchestrated the assassination, had hoped that Caesar's death would usher in a new era of freedom and stability. They believed that by removing the dictator, they could restore the Republic to its former glory. Instead, it unleashed a wave of violence and instability that would ultimately destroy the Republic they had sworn to protect. The streets became battlegrounds, and the once orderly society descended into anarchy. The assassination, far from being the act of liberation the conspirators had envisioned, became the catalyst for its demise. The very act meant to save the Republic became the spark that ignited its destruction. The power vacuum left by Caesar's death led to a series of civil wars, each more brutal than the last. Generals and politicians alike vied for control, each claiming to be the true savior of Rome. The very foundations of the Republic crumbled as rival factions, each claiming to be the true heirs of Caesar's legacy, tore Rome apart. The city, once the heart of a vast empire, lay in ruins, a testament to the destructive power of ambition and betrayal. The citizens of Rome, caught in the crossfire, could only watch in despair as their beloved Republic disintegrated before their eyes. The dream of a free and stable Rome had turned into a nightmare of endless conflict and suffering. The political landscape was forever altered. Leaders who once stood united under the banner of the Republic now found themselves embroiled in bitter rivalries and power struggles. The vision of a united Rome was shattered, replaced by a fractured and war-torn reality. The Republic in ruins serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of political systems and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. The legacy of Caesar's assassination is a tale of caution, echoing through the annals of history as a warning to future generations. Section 7. Hero or villain? History's verdict. The question of whether Brutus was a hero or a villain has haunted historians for centuries. Was he a noble idealist, driven to act by his unwavering belief in the principles of the Republic, or was he a traitor, a man blinded by ambition and manipulated into betraying his friend? History offers no easy answers. Some historians, like Plutarch, portray Brutus as a tragic hero, a man of principle caught in an impossible situation. They argue that his motives were pure, his actions motivated by a deep love for his city and its republican ideals. Others, like Suetonius, paint a less flattering picture, suggesting that Brutus was driven by personal ambition and a desire for power. Section 8. The enduring legacy of Brutus. The legacy of Marcus Junius. Brutus is one of enduring complexity. Born into a prominent Roman family, Brutus was a man of intellect and principle, deeply influenced by the philosophies of his time. He is both celebrated and condemned, a figure whose actions have sparked debate for centuries. His decision to join the conspiracy against Julius Caesar is viewed through the prism of history as both an act of selfless heroism and unforgivable betrayal. Brutus believed he was saving the Republic from tyranny, yet his actions led to civil war and the eventual rise of the Roman Empire. The story of Brutus serves as a cautionary tale, a complex narrative that warns of the delicate balance between power and morality. It is a reminder that even the most noble of intentions can have unintended and tragic consequences. The dagger that struck Caesar also struck at the heart of Roman stability. Brutus's dilemma continues to resonate with us today. Modern historians and scholars still debate his motives and the ethical implications of his actions. His story raises timeless questions about the nature of loyalty, the burden of leadership, and the moral complexities faced by those in power. It also highlights the perils of unchecked ambition, both personal and political. Brutus's ambition was not for personal gain, but for the preservation of the Republic, yet it led to unforeseen chaos. Was he a hero who sacrificed his friend to save his city, or a villain who plunged a nation into chaos for personal gain? The duality of his character makes him a subject of endless fascination.